To the right side. Did they hear that? Were you chewing and you couldn't press the button fast enough?
I thought it was on. Sorry.
I thought it was on. Hey, y'all. I'm Allison Sinclair with JP. Abs is gone again. Abs. She's doing her bridal tea thing, like down in Montgomery where they're all fancy.
Montgomery.
You know what? I just realized, oh, wait, you don't have your laptop, so you can't turn on the teleprompter.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on.
I had to take it home, and in my head, I was like, I don't want to take it home because if I take it home, then I'll forget it. And then I realized, crap, I need it at home.
Well, what happened in your head after that? You just forgot to bring it back?
Yeah. I actually drove back here to get my laptop because I knew I needed it. But as I was leaving, I was like, I'm gonna leave my laptop here because if I take it home, I'm gonna forget it at home.
If Abs was here, she would have mom known to text you and be like, don't forget your laptop.
I'm sure.
That's not me though. But regardless, we're going to have a fabulous show. We've got a big story coming up this first segment. I think we're going to have the discussion about Barrymore's military service, Jared Hudson's response. It's been out kind of floating for a while. I have some thoughts on it. We're going to yammer. We're going to do word of the day. Then we're going to montage, which should be really fun because I didn't get the montage last night. So we're just blindly going into the montage. And so it will literally be my unfiltered opinion. I had no prep on that one.
Well, you got the montage. You got the text.
Oh, when did you send it?
I sent it at, let's see.
I didn't see it.
I sent it at, let's see, 9:15, 9:16. And then you sent several things in response to play for tomorrow. So I figured you read it and saw one of the lists on there.
This is nope, didn't see it. I just thought you got busy. You went on a date or something last night and didn't have time to do a montage.
I do my job every night.
My apologies.
Every day.
I wasn't mad about it. I just thought it was this is exciting.
How dare she question my montage pre-notice abilities?
Speaking of word of the day, pre-notice abilities. I think that's a dashed word. Okay, then at 11 o'clock, we have Jay Mitchell and Pamela Casey in studio. That one will be interesting. And then after that, we have Clown World. I don't know what else we'll cover. There's no telling. But first, I have to admit and tell you a story.
Oh, please do.
So remember when you house sat for us and you said, I woke up and I walked next door and, I tucked Bear in his kennel and Bo and said, night, night. I know you kissed Kitty Bear and said, night, night, Angel. And then you went over to the other house and went to sleep and you woke up and you said, I opened the door and Bear greeted me, not in his kennel. But you swore you locked both locks.
Yep.
I was like, not a big deal. I'm not going to tell him. I'm sorry about your Yellowstone hat, but there's just kind of no way you locked both locks and he got out. Well, last night, Jared and I went to dinner. No, this was 2 nights ago because I meant to tell you yesterday. We go. And so now we put Bear in and we'll say, we'll be right back. And we lock the top lock, jiggle it, lock the bottom lock, jiggle it, locked. And we get home a few hours later and we open the door and Bear greets us at the door. And I'm like, what the hell, County?
I'm not crazy.
Okay, so this is where it gets really weird. We go to the kennel. They're both still locked.
That's what happened with me.
And I'm like, does he have opposable thumbs now? And he unlocked it, got out, turned around and said, I'm going to fool mom and dad, lock him back.
He maybe can teleport. I don't know. But my theory was when I got there, his bed was pushed up against the bottom lock and kind of looked like he'd been doing this. And I'm like, maybe he was just so determined to get out. He did that until he could jiggle it just enough. And he just used his nose to open it and like squirt. But
then how did it get locked back?
I don't know. But we need to set up a camera. You need to set up a camera.
No, I figured it out. You're just not letting me talk.
What?
I got you.
Okay, tell me.
We're both not stupid.
What happened?
And he doesn't teleport. So, the kennel has the cover over it, like, because they like their dens. And so you cover it and they feel all cozy. Well, what we all forgot is that there's an extra door on the side that is hidden by the cover. Was that door locked?
Is there actually?
Mm-hmm. So there's that front door that we put him in with his treat and say night night. On the side behind the cover is door number 2.
And y'all didn't know.
Well, we knew it, but we never see it because it's hidden by the black cover. And you wouldn't have known that either. Now, the top lock was locked on door number 2, but the bottom lock wasn't. And so I guess he pulls like a ferret or a mouse and his body elongates and he goes through that tiny little. But I meant to tell you yesterday that you, in fact, are not a bad dog sitter.
What? Okay, so
you.
This whole time you thought I was a bad dog sitter?
I was just kidding. No, I didn't care, but I just really was perplexed. But we have figured it out.
So now you have to lock that door too.
Yeah, I locked it. I thought about getting zip ties and just zip tying the side door.
What's funny though is that he doesn't choose to get out every night through that door. Like some nights he just decides.
He gets bored.
Maybe some nights he's like, man, I really want to get out, but I can't. And then other nights he's like, oh wait, I found a door. But like he doesn't remember it. Or maybe he just wants to. I think it like I don't know.
He just is messing with us. He seems so unsmart. Like he's one of those dogs that's like,
yes, there's nothing going on behind his eyes. Yeah.
And then he's like, wait, I'm going to throw him off and be Houdini. He did it.
That's funny.
Anyway, that was my story for the day. We have a word of the day. Would you like to wordle? Probably can't. That's probably copyrighted. Copyright. Do we have music? Hit it. All right, I'm already sweating because it's hot up here. That'll be enough. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I think this is a really good word. I didn't like the other word the other day, the engender, because it made me think of Pride Month. This is a person who intrudes in a place or sphere of activity. They are not wanted or welcome by the other people present.
Intruder.
You've got the first 5 letters right.
Intrusive.
Oh, no, first 3 letters.
Wait. Say it one more time.
This is an example. Summer residents were regarded as blank who lacked a commitment to the town's welfare.
Inconsiderate.
Okay, you're so close. You're actually losing letters.
Yeah, that's right. You said the first 5.
I was wrong. It was just the first 3.
Okay.
An interloper.
Oh.
We have lots of interlopers in the state of Alabama.
That we do.
Sometimes I'm probably an interloper in the treehouse.
Well, Brad from Crimestone got it.
Brad. Dang it. I wonder how. I bet Brad uses that word daily.
Probably.
I will not be an interloper. You are. I bet he tells people all the time on the road or people walking into you are an interloper.
Or he's telling his kids.
Get out.
It's like, kids, y'all are interlopers.
Don't be an interloper. No. It's like one time Jennings told Connor, you're a ruiner and everybody hates you.
You're a ruiner?
Yeah. It was something about the, like the lily pads that you have out in the lake.
Yeah.
I think she was trying to do like a handstand and he messed it all up. And so now we always say, you're a ruiner and everybody hates you. You're an interloper and nobody wants you here. Okay, Gen Z, what you got?
Blank is used to describe someone who does way too much for the person they are interested in. It has negative connotations. Simp. Dude, you're on a roll.
I'm so Gen Z and don't even know it.
Look at him, following her like a puppy. He's such a simp.
Everybody wants a simp, though. Well, you want you want somebody, but you don't respect the simp.
No, you don't.
So it's like, just note to self, if you're Gen Z and you're listening, like the girls are flattered, but really they don't want the guy that's easy to get.
Girls do not want nice guys. That's just the truth.
They really, it's not nice. It's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you're a simp, you seem very insecure and like you aren't your own person. So that it does get a little fuzzy though, because it seems like they don't like the nice guys. That's not it.
And it's typically a negative connotation when like guy friends stop playing video games or stop hanging out with their day ones because they get a girlfriend and they start acting like a simp.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
It's like, hey, you want to get on the game? No, I'm with my girlfriend. It's like,
boo. And then everybody hates you and they hate the girlfriend, and it's just a bad slippery slope.
So was your girlfriend grinding Fortnite with you in 7th grade? I didn't see her there. I'm just saying. But when you needed materials, was your girlfriend in the party chat to give you wood and brick? No, it was me. Okay.
You're dynamite.
That means nothing, I guess. That means nothing.
That's
fine.
So cute.
Fine.
But what's funny is that guys don't grow out of it. Like 7th grade, probably 70 years old. It's all the same game. Till one day you realize you need more game.
Last night I was doing work actually, and my one of my best friends called me and was like, "Hey man, it's like I was just walking my dog. I'm just wanting to talk a little bit, you know." And then we talked a little bit, and then it got quiet, and I was like, "Are you wanting me to hop on the game?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay."
That's cute.
Like, give me like 5 minutes.
That's so cute. What do y'all play?
We played college football last night. We play Fall Guys sometimes. There's like a Fortnite-esque game. We play sometimes we play like Call of Duty or something, but that's typically Fall Guys has been a big one.
I don't even know what that is.
You have to look it up.
Is it like Killers?
No, it's like a battle royale, but it's like a bunch of goofy kid games that like you have to win, but like each level, half of the squad that's there like loses, and then just like you have to keep going up and up and up.
So you stick with your squad?
Yeah, it's like you and another person.
Yeah. Are you like, Brad's here, he's such an interloper. No, I don't want him in my squad.
Sometimes, but we won't say that.
Sorry, Brad. Just the first name that came to mind. Do we want to talk military service? Do we want to yammer? What do we want to do?
I think we do that first and then yammer, maybe.
All right. So
maybe do that for like 5 minutes.
I think we're just going to need to talk about this. I have lots of thoughts. I'm curious if you do. I wanted to start. So the Gateway Pundit, I guess like 2 days ago, put out an article. Here's the headline. Republican Senate candidate Barry Moore may be in hot water, likely publicly misrepresented his military service record for years. It goes on to say a detailed memorandum with Moore's accompanying military records alleges that U.S. Representative Barry Moore has materially misrepresented his military service record for over a decade, while simultaneously signing a high-profile letter condemning Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz for the same category of conduct. The documents include what appear to be Moore's actual NGB form, National Guard. I don't know what that stands for. NGB, because he was in the National Guard. Form 22, DD Form 220, discharge orders, and the Army National Guard retirement credits record. They allegedly claim Moore has built a core piece of his political identity around a military record that does not match his public statements. Do you have the video?
The commercial?
Yeah, this is a commercial that Barry Moore released in 2020.
As the only veteran in this race, I understand the importance of veterans to our nation. They're the 1%ers, the 1% that serve to protect our rights, that protect the Constitution, our freedoms. You know, experience is a wonderful teacher. And to serve those, you need to have served. You need to have been put in those people's shoes. I've been in those combat boots. I understand what it's like.
I spent 41 years in the U.S. Army, and I support Barry Moore.
I'm a veteran of 38 years in the Army, and I support Barry Moore.
I'm Barry Moore, Republican for Congress, and I approve this message.
So I guess at an event, I don't know if it was last night, the night before, Jared Hudson was at an event and somebody asked him about it. Before we play that clip, let me read what this Gateway Pundit article says. It says the legal analysis concludes that Moore does not meet the federal definition of veteran under 38 USC 101, which requires active military service plus a discharge other than dishonorable. Title 32, National Guard service, drills, annual training, and officer candidate training does not qualify as active military service under the statute. The analysis notes Gulf War era rules require actual federal activation. And it goes on to say that Barry was about to be deployed overseas, but the war ended while he was in training to go over and combat for the war, the Gulf War. Play Jared's response to this.
This morning, and you can speak to this or you cannot. I just think the audience needs to hear this. At 9:30 this morning, driving down, Tim Harrison and I got a text. Republican Senate candidate Barry Moore may be in hot water, likely misrepresented publicly his military service. And I know the media is going to let that play out this afternoon. You'll see it on the news tonight, but anything from the campaign on that but is up to you. But I just wanted the audience to be looking for that tonight. I don't know how it's going to play out.
I'm not, I did, somebody texted me that. I'm not as familiar with that. The one thing I would say, they've, in political stuff, this is what I've seen, unbelievably salacious accusations. I mean, heck, I was told I was not a law enforcement officer. Somebody put it on Facebook like a week ago, and Sheriff Mark Moon I'm sworn with came on and said, no, he's an investigator SWAT deputy with me. What are y'all talking about? So I do understand that these salacious accusations go out in the political realm. So you can't believe everything you read and see. However, and I've also heard that, hey, this guy's not really a Navy SEAL. Well, that's easy to disprove. Hey, here's a piece of paper that shows exactly what I am. It's called a DD-214. I did see that. I think that whenever Congressman Moore, if it's true, then he's got a lot of answer to do because he's been running on that for a long time. If it's not true, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is show, hey, here's my DD-214 saying that I'm a veteran. So I would wait to see what Congressman Moore responds with. Because I'm not familiar with what his service does or doesn't look like.
So this is kind of a complex story. And in all honesty and fairness, I was given papers and kind of a packet about this probably 2 months ago, and went and talked to several veterans people just getting, I don't know the definition. I'm going to read to you what Chat GPT says the definition of a veteran is. But as I talked to people, they were like, I mean, maybe there's something there, but really not. Like, I think you have to be so careful because not only do you have to be careful when it comes to like stolen valor stuff, but you also have to be careful that accusing people that volunteered their time. Barry Moore was willing to go to war. He was training to go to the Gulf. He put himself in a position to be called up to go do that. I think you have to be really careful going after someone that has volunteered to serve America. And what I ended up walking away with was like, I'm going to leave this to the veterans to sort out because it's all these kind of confusing things. So if you ask ChatGPT, it says a veteran is generally a person who has served in the military, armed forces, or military reserves. That's Barry. Then it goes on to say in the United States, the legal definition of a veteran is found in federal law. A veteran is a person who served in the active military, naval, air, or space service, and who was discharged or released under conditions other than dishonorable. And then it goes on to say, you do not have to serve in combat to be a veteran. You do not have to be retired from the military to be a veteran. National Guard and Reserve service may qualify in certain circumstances, particularly if a member served on qualifying active duty orders. So I don't know. I don't think that the DD-214, which makes me laugh every time I say it because it reminds me of Monsters, Inc. You remember when like there's like 2218, 22, yes. Like everything's falling apart. I don't know if he has his DD-214. I don't even know what that is. He has a DD-220. But I guess it's something to pay attention to, but kind of like actually Jared's response was fair. Like, don't just jump on. I think that's the point. just because there is a headline that says one thing, please don't just jump on that. Like, do your research. It's pretty simple. I don't know what's going to happen. I think they're supposed to be somewhere together on Monday, maybe a
they're
debate
having
or something.
debates Monday.
And so I don't know. I mean, if Barry has a DD 214, then he can just bring it. I don't think that's public record. I don't think you can just get that. So we'll see. But when I looked at what I was sent, I didn't really see anything there that was like glaringly obvious. I mean, maybe he made himself sound cooler than he was, but he was headed to the Gulf. He was gonna go. So I don't know. JP, what do you think?
I mean, I don't like, honestly, these are kind of areas that, like what you said, I don't know enough about. Like, I'm not a military guy, and I don't know exactly in the military world, like if it's frowned upon to, like, if you technically can be a veteran, but like if it's a thing of, well, if you didn't go and actually serve in war, like it's kind of frowned upon to run on being a veteran. I don't know if there's stuff like that out there in the veteran world. I will say this. I think somebody mentioned, did Barry claim that he was a wartime veteran though? I think that may have been what the Gateway Pundit was alluding to. I don't know. I'm asking. I think that may be where people were having a problem, is if he claimed to be a war veteran and he never actually served in war. Like,
well, in that commercial, he says, "I've worn the combat boots," and I think that's what people are probably like. Is he insinuating he went overseas to war?
Yeah.
See, then I go, I mean, he wore combat boots.
Yeah. I don't know. These are areas when, we talked about just mudslinging to mudsling. I'm not saying Jared's campaign or Jared himself, but whoever is running with the story, like they're trying to smear Barry on something. When I read it, I'm like, okay, either way, like, sure, is it an indictment on your character if you did blatantly lie? Yeah, I guess. But like, ultimately, like, what does this have to do with being a senator? Like, I understand.
Well, stolen valor and lying about your military service is a big deal.
I understand. But I guess just for me, in terms of like, I don't know, maybe I just view like running for the office that was a lot less personal than like other people. I understand veterans would be very, very upset about that, and they should be. But I guess me being not a veteran, I guess maybe I'm just like, okay, well, and it would be one thing like if he got caught blatantly lying. But if it's a thing of like, well, he technically is a veteran, but he's not a wartime veteran, and he said this, but technically it's not, and it's all like technicalities and this, then I'm just kind of like, what are we doing? It's like, this is silly.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just felt like, because it's been circulating, and when Jared talked about it publicly, I mean, it's something that is in the news. I don't really know if any other local news outlets have picked it up. I haven't seen it in print anywhere, but enough in the political circles talking about it. And I think it's something, again, it's like what Amy Beth and I always try and do is go, like, don't just read a headline and assume that's the whole story. It might be a snippet of the story, but as voters, you have to read deeper into and really do research. It's unfortunate because you can say, okay, like, what's an example? I mean, I always go back to them saying, Mo Brooks hates the military because he voted against the NDAA that year. Well, he voted against it because it had red flag laws in it, and it drafted our girls for the military. There are lines in the sand.
Yep.
He doesn't hate the military. He doesn't want your daughter going to war. Mm-hmm. But if you just read that headline, Mo Brooks hates the military, voted against funding the military, it's misleading purposefully.
It just seems silly to me. I don't know. I think we can yammer, but I think it's silly to. I'll just say this: if you're going to make that accusation, you better be like, he did not even do any military service, and he's blatantly lying. He's blatantly misleading. But if it's like technicalities, and it's like, well, he made it seem like this, but he really didn't serve. It's like, okay, well, is he a veteran or not? Like getting into like, well, he made it seem like, well, he made it seem, it's like, that's where it gets silly. And just like, guys, what are we doing? If you got evidence like, hey, he claimed he's a veteran, he's not, here is all and it's black and white, then that's one thing. But if it's like, You know what I mean? Like trying to say, well, he made it seem like he went in Iraq and he did. It's like, well, then, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if he was in the reserves or whatever, then he's still a veteran, you know? And so that's where I'm like, okay, if you're going to make that claim, make it black and white and like definitive. You lied. You blatantly lied. Don't make it, because when you put it out there and it's up for interpretation, then you're just trying to smear.
But what do you do? I mean, like in Jared Hudson's defense, he doesn't have access to Barrymore's DD 214. So
right.
like,
and I'm not even
only
specifically going after Jared.
Yeah.
I'm just like the people that are, because there's people who leak that and want this to be a story.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Jared probably handled it the best he could. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
People lie and say things that aren't true, but it's pretty easy to prove. I don't know. We'll watch it, see what happens. I don't think we have time to yammer.
I pushed the break to 10:30 if we wanted to do one real quick.
You want to yammer?
We can yammer. I kind of like doing the sound effect live.
You don't want just a button?
I just kind of like doing it on the spot. I don't know. It's fun. I can make a button.
I don't know. It just seems like what if you're one day you wet your whistle and it doesn't whistle? What?
I don't think I have that. I think I can whistle at all times. That'd be embarrassing though if I was like yammer. And I'm like, I lost my whistle.
Where did my whistle go? Okay, here we go. Did y'all see? We didn't talk about that. I think this happened after the show yesterday. Grayson Everett has a story. I want to pass the ball. Former candidate, Alabama. Former candidate and Alabama football champ A.J. McCarron endorses John Wall for lieutenant governor. He goes on to say, I got into the lieutenant governor's race because I cared deeply about Alabama, our families, and our future, and the future we're leaving for our children. I quickly learned that politics can be a dirty game, especially when you are an outsider who cannot be controlled by Montgomery special interests. That is one of the reasons I respect John Wall. He is not part of the political swamp, and he has proven he is willing to stand strong, take the hits, keep driving the ball down the field for the people of Alabama.
Interesting. I was not expecting him to get back involved at all.
Yeah, and like the Bammer Bros broke up. I mean, we got a video of Wes Allen standing in the practice field, talking about him playing at Alabama.
That's true. The Bama fraternity kind of betrayed him.
But I laughed when I read that because I remember us seeing
yes,
AJ at the governor's Christmas party, and
I still love that picture.
How miserable he was. When I say miserable, I mean miserable. Yeah. Politics is not very palatable.
Hey.
Oh wait, that was yes. And I think he made himself, he wanted to be an interloper. That's what he said. Yeah, he was like, I don't want to be a part of this group. Just call me an interloper and let me out.
I'll do one more story to end Yammer. This one's from Sawyer Knowles today. Tuberville torches Doug Jones over redistricting race claims. Quote, he's got nothing to run on. He said, quote, he's got nothing else to talk about. Tuberville said, open borders, transgenders, higher taxes, no law enforcement. Come up with some kind of plan that you're going to do to make Alabama better. Talk about that. Don't talk about something that you really know nothing about.
Well, I don't know what is he talking about his residency issues? Because that's all I've heard Doug Jones talk about. Redistricting, how we're the old Confederacy, yes, and how Tommy Tuberville, even though he showed his tax record since 2018, that he's not eligible to run. Doug Jones, what are you running on? Nobody knows. It really is insane. He started out, you remember, I think somebody was talking about this the other day. He started out when he got in the Senate, I'm going to be so equal and so moderate.
Guy that reaches across the aisle.
Yeah.
I'm the moderate Democrat.
We don't trust you, Dougie. Dougie Fresh.
Dougie.
All right, we'll be back with the montage that I didn't look at and didn't know was there, and more news.
Corey Hill. He is running for Ag Commissioner of Alabama. He hasn't been on the show yet, so we're glad you are here today. Before we dive into, like Allison was asking, a day in the life and what that job looks like, tell us about you. Where are you from? And why did you jump in the race?
Okay, thank you. Pleasure to be here. I love your show. I am from Marshall County. We farm full time in Douglas. We have 5 breeder chicken houses and about 120 mama cows. Our family also operates a grocery store there in town. So I'm very involved in the food processing, food production, food safety in our life. That's our livelihood. My gotcha moment to join the race for ag commissioners was because we farm full time, make our living farming, and have many friends that do that. And farmers are struggling today, as many of you know from the media accounts of high cost of input goods and low cost of prices. And we've not had an ag commissioner sit in the ag commissioner seat that's a production ag commissioner since Albert McDonald in the late 80s.
Oh, goodness.
And I thought it was time we get a farmer to be the ag commissioner. And so I decided to run about 3 years ago and work the state real hard, talking to my farmer friends all over and their constituents and voters. And here we are today, fortunate enough to finish first in the primary and looking forward to the runoff. And I would love to be your next ag commissioner and work for you every day as a consumer and for our farmers in this state too.
Ag commissioner, kind of like the PSC, there's several positions in state government that don't get a lot of attention until you realize how important they are. This is actually an extremely important position. I know you're not there yet, but like what in the day of life, like if you're winning, you're like, okay, now I got to go do this. What does your day look like as ag commissioner?
Gosh, that is a tough question. And it's different every day. There's 18 departments there, but maybe I'll just answer it this way. It's an indirect way to answer it. There's what the ag commissioner does is there's over 300 employees, 18 departments. The ag department is responsible for all food safety, all animal safety and welfare. The most popular thing is the gas pump labels that everybody sees, making sure you get a gallon of gas when you buy a gallon, but also checking the octane levels. The ag department also regulates your food and grocery stores, your pesticide companies that spray your yards, your house, the guys that mow your yard and spray herbicides on your yard. That's all regulated by the ag department. But also they go in grocery stores and they buy hamburger meat, make sure that you're actually getting hamburger meat.
And well, what else could you be getting?
Goat.
Oh, how would you know?
You don't know till the last ag department test it. I don't think that's happening. I'm just saying they make sure that.
Well, no, that's so interesting because
there's some ethnic stores in the state that probably sells things besides beef.
Okay, right. It's good to know you're testing. Thank you.
Yeah, right. So this is minute, I guess, but they take Cheerios, for instance, back to the lab and make sure a 12-ounce box is 12 ounces, and they analyze the actual Cheerio, make sure the ingredients on the box match the Cheerio. That's how you get a lot of your food safety recalls, because they find stuff like that accidentally on. This happened all over the country, not just Alabama.
So basically, it is a giant science lab.
Yeah.
Or some departments are.
It's a consumer protection agency, but there's multiple labs in the state.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a cow die or don't know what happened to your cow or sick, you can take it to one of the labs, one in Auburn, one in Hansville, and they'll analyze that for you and check and see what's wrong with your cow and dispose of it for you. So a lot of farmers use that because it's easier, cheaper to get the state to do it than do it yourself.
I got to ask you, I saw that there's a screw worm outbreak in Texas,
Sure
but
did.
we can get to that later because I don't know what a screw worm is. And apparently it's been out of production since 1966.
So.
That's right.
Now we got screw worms. Okay. So where, sorry, I got to jump back in because you analyze Cheerios. Where do you do all that? Is all this in Montgomery?
The big lab's in Montgomery.
Okay.
There's a food safety lab, and they go in feed supply stores and analyze dog food, cat food, make sure that the seed is what the package is labeled. So we don't have we can have a foreign seed come in, like kudzu took over Alabama one time.
Remember that?
We don't want things like that coming to our country that we don't need in our country. So it could be an accident, but they analyze the seed you put out, the fertilizer, make sure it's labeled properly. They make sure your dog and cat food does not have salmonella in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a safety issue. If you're cooking home for the bake sale on Sunday and you got a cat in your house and eating cat food and get salmonella crossed over in the baking, I mean, that's just things you don't think about, but that's things that could happen. So the ag department does regulate dog and cat food as well, test it for safety.
So you mentioned a minute ago, and I'm glad that the ag department does that, truly. You mentioned pesticides. And, there's been a lot about that for a good while, maybe 20 years, 25 years. What is your thought on pesticides, organic versus some of the Roundup, et cetera, that there's been, lawsuits about?
Science has proven that they are generally safe. Nothing is absolute. But we're growing more food in this country today on fewer acres with fewer farmers than we ever have.
Welcome back to The Right Side. Can you hear me? No, I think I actually had it turned down. Y'all, who needs abs? We got this.
We miss you, abs.
We do. She's eating fancy cake in Montgomery with her fancy friends. I think this is like old school Montgomery.
This is like have you heard of a sit and stare before? Or maybe I'm butchering the term.
Sit and stare?
Something like that. My cousin who got married, who's a big sorority girl, her and that like my aunt and all of them, they do like every single bridal event you could do. And one of them was like a sit and stare or sit and something. And they have like an event for everything.
A sit and
I can't remember what it was
like
called.
A sip and see?
Sip and see.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless we're sipping French 75s, I'm not going. You. That's about as fun as it is.
Yeah.
Sit and stare and a sip and see. Gosh, these headphones. Sip and see. It's really bothering me. Hold on.
What? What's wrong?
It's like I hate these headphones.
Okay, we need to find a better headphone solution for y'all.
I still don't have headphoneage.
Why?
Anyway,
You can't hear anything?
no, it's like it's the connection.
Oh.
Anyway, a sip and see. You go and you get some tea and you hold your pinkies out and you walk around and they display all the bridal gifts and you get to analyze their china and their flatware and their crystal, which is so dumb. Like, you're not using your china. I have all this fancy, expensive china, all these wine glasses I picked out when I was like 20 years old. I'm not using those till I'm like 80. And your taste changes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I say go for like, I think the best, okay, I'm just going to say it. The best wedding gift we've ever given was to Bo and Izzy Nix when they got married. And I went and looked at their registry and Bo wanted spike ball. So I bought him spike ball. And then I think I got Izzy some lamps or something. But actually, Bo said that was his favorite wedding gift that he got. That's what you need to be asking for. Apparently, he's a really good spike ball player, too.
I mean, does anybody actually use their wedding china?
No, that's what I'm saying.
So you might as well get them just like a bunch of paper plates and like solo cups and because I only use paper plates.
That's way more efficient. And I think like because by the time you're 80, surely you can afford your own china. So go for the spike ball. It's way more fun. Anyway, can we montage and let me try and fix my headphones?
Yes, we can montage.
Well, wait, can I hear it? No.
What is the connection?
I don't know. Like this little thing doesn't touch right in the other thing.
You're really testing our resolve today, Sinclair.
Hold on. Like I have nothing.
Okay. Well, did you try and plug it into a different hole?
Okay, talk.
Check 1, 2.
No, I still don't have anything. How about that? Oh, well, play the montage.
Okay.
Mess with my headphones.
I could use.
Vote the yeas are 48, the nays are 50, 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. The motion is not agreed to. The point of order is sustained and the amendment fails.
We put in today, as you know, about Save America, the Save America Act. I don't know, someday the Senate and the House we'll get it done, although I must tell you the House has approved it about 3 times already.
Calling it unjustified murder. So Carmelo Anthony is charged with murdering 17-year-old Austin Metcalf after admitting to stabbing him in the chest at a high school track meet last year. Police say the fight started because Anthony was under another team's tent and Metcalf told him to leave. Anthony's defense attorneys say he stabbed Metcalf, who was unarmed, out of fear, as a group was, quote, turning on him.
The New York Times has spoken to more than 24 people, 6 of whom were romantically involved with Graham Plattner. 3 of those women reportedly described patterns of heavy drinking and womanizing.
Behavior reported by Graham Plattner in this New York Times article, trapping a woman in a room, being physically...
Yeah, I mean, as you all know, this all kind of just came out.
Does it need to offer voters more of an explanation?
I mean, again, I think I have to read up on this latest reporting.
I mean, I think we need to agree. Her voice is so annoying.
AKA, I gotta talk to leadership to see what I need to say before I say because can you imagine if that was a Republican? She would be all over that. That was her, because I mean, she claims to be a feminist, so she would make her stand right then. But then when it's a Democrat, and she's got to think, oh, maybe we want this guy to win.
He was in an interview, and did you see? I don't even know who the biscuit was he was interviewing with, but he was like, I mean, was I a bad boyfriend a while ago? Sure. Yeah, I think you have issues, dude.
Yeah, that's the. But again, I think it just shows that the Democrats, they're willing to compromise if they can win, because
Do you blame them though? I mean, they are not the party of like morality and conviction. Well, unless it's evil.
Right, but the thing is, they claim to be.
Yes, but we're smarter than that,
mm-hmm.
and we know that they're not. I don't know if the Republicans would be any better though.
I'm not saying Republicans are perfect. I just think it's hypocritical with the party that claims to be about feminism and believing all women. And I need to read up on the latest reporting before I can make a comment.
I don't know if it's fair. Like, as you're talking, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's fair to blame the party when the people are still saying they're going to vote for him. So
I'm not blaming. I just think I mean, I agree with you. That's just how it is. But I think it's important to talk about like that's how it is. Like, they claim to be for feminism and claim to be for all those things, but they'll easily throw them away if it'll get them an extra seat,
But if the people don't demand better, it's kind of like if we don't stand up and demand some immigration reform in America, we're going to lose our country. Well, that's on us. Like, yeah, there's Washington can do something. That's what we elect them to do. But we've learned repeatedly, until the people demand it, most of our elected officials don't really want to do much of anything, whether it's Montgomery or DC. So if the people are like, cool, we'll take a Nazi, homophobe, wife beater, cheater, what else? Communist.
Yes.
That sounds great. Give us more.
Worst of the worst. I don't know. I just think the part that's just funny is, like I said, is that AOC scared, petrified, like she needs to talk with the Democratic leadership before having a statement about something that she claims to be, so pro women, so pro believe all women and feminist. I need to.
Well, she just proved exactly who we all think she is. Yeah. She is a puppet.
Yes.
She auditioned for that, literally auditioned for that congressional seat. They're like, you are a great liar. You're a great actor. You'll say what we want. There we go. I need to go get my script before I can comment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Can we talk Save America Act failing again?
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to say about it?
I just think it's baffling to me that this is not something that everybody is on board with. Like, I continued, like, it was Tillis, Murkowski, Collins, and McConnell that voted against it to cause it to not pass reconciliation. But I mean, we can have the conversation about the filibuster or not, but the only place I can continue to land when they do that is that you benefit from open elections. You benefit from insecure elections. Like, what else? How else can you argue to vote against one of the most common sense bills we've ever had?
Well, I think they would say, they wouldn't say that. I think they would say they're representing their constituency. This is what our constituents want. Like, I don't know how the Republicans, especially, how would they defend that except saying, I mean, except McConnell's in Kentucky. Like, that's not libtard center of the world. But I think they're going to say, well, we our constituents think that everybody should have the opportunity to say, no, it's not true. I can't go to Italy and vote. Pretty sure I can't. Can I go to China and vote?
Nope.
Can I go to Iran and vote?
Cannot.
No. Well, there's lots of reasons I can't vote there. Can you, I mean, it's like all of these places they defend is great and but they don't even do it.
Yeah. I don't understand. I continue to be baffled that we can't get this through. Like, it's just so common sense. But
so you brought up the filibuster. You are in favor of nuking all the filibusters.
Well, I mean, we can have a conversation about it's a little more nuanced. I get it. But I think just the overall stance of, let me just say it this way. I think in certain cases, and this may come across wrong, but like the ends justify the means.
No, I mean, I get it. And it actually is another story because it's probably the question I get asked a lot about what's the difference, and especially now in the runoff between Barry Moore and Jared Hudson. And that is that the differences are small outside of personality. They could not be more opposite in personality, but there are some differences there on some of their stances on issues. And the filibuster is one of them. Barry Moore is very much in line with like Trump and the far right Republicans. I wouldn't even call them far right, but just most Republicans of like, they are going to nuke the filibuster. And when I say that, I mean the zombie filibuster that you don't even have to be standing there, but also the silent or the talking filibuster where you actually have to stop and stand there and read Green Eggs and Ham for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then Jared is in favor of nuking, getting rid of the zombie filibuster, but not the talking filibuster. And I think it's hard because in theory, I agree with Jared. Like that, the Democrats are someday going to be back in power. And it's nice to have that opportunity. I think there should be some pain associated with it. Like you got to stand and talk. You can't just go on vacation and say, I'm filibustering. But again, in 2026, the game has changed. We don't have this social compact that I talk about a lot, which is we're going to kind of treat each other fairly. That went out the window years ago. And so what are the Dems going to do after this election, which I do think we're going to lose the midterms. After this election, they're going to get rid of all the filibuster and just cram it down our throats. So why don't we do the same? Like the wartime rules have changed.
And I guess the main frustration is that is kind of the crux of why Republicans always claim to not do something. It's because, we won't want the Democrats to do that. And, but the Democrats. But when on the flip side of thing, like when the Democrats, like, for example, when Nancy Pelosi created the reconciliation bill as a whole to just ram through the Affordable Care Act without having to have the 60 votes, to just rammed it through in reconciliation that's the same process that Trump used to do the big, beautiful bill. But like Pelosi got Obamacare done with that process. And she wasn't scared to say, the Republicans may use that in the future. Like they just did what they had to do. And so with this, I'm like, this is important enough to do. If you got to get around the filibuster to do it, then do it. And we can have a conversation about the different, filibusters and because it is a nuanced conversation. But I think ultimately, like, if this is important enough, you find a way. And the excuse of, but the Democrats is not good enough because, like you said, say the Democrats come in and win the Senate in the midterms. And they're pissed off after all that Trump's done. You think that filibuster would last long if they had to nuke it? Like, obviously not. We're fooling ourselves if we think that they wouldn't go to that length to do that. So, and you know what? It may hurt us, but ultimately, like, this is important enough to do. You know, like, if the Democrats are going to use it to hurt us, fine. We might as well get it to do what we need to do. You know what I mean? So I think the frustration is, oh, but the Democrats, when the Democrats don't go, oh, but the Republicans, you know, it's never a problem.
I mean, it pains me to say that. And I've come so far because I used to be more trusting and fair. And then these past few years have just taught me that I'm just an idiot.
You're not an idiot.
Well, I mean, you're naive, and you're not being you're not dealing in reality anymore if that's still your stance. If you're still stuck in 1980, 1990 political world, which I thought would be the way forever. I thought every politician was like Tim Burchett and just so honest and fun and just wanted to do the right thing in their Carhartt jacket. And then you're like, nope, we're not in the 90s anymore.
They're few and far between now. And who was it? Somebody, Barry, I think, said it on our show. It's like, if you're willing to stay in DC and want to stay in DC longer than the term limit pledge of, what was it, five years, I believe, in the House, then that's,
I think it's 5 terms.
5 terms. That's a problem on your, like, you want to be in DC for that long, you know, because it's just a sewer. That's kind of like what Burchett said. A swamp is a beautiful God-created, a God-made creation that has all these purposes and great life, and a sewer is a man-made trash dump. That's what DC is, you know.
As he's been up there for a long time.
That's true. I don't know how.
And he wants to be a senator.
I don't know why or how, but God bless him. We need him up there.
I always thought he'd run for governor, Tennessee. Asked him one time if he was going to, and he was like, "It's not really a challenge for me."
I conquered DC or Tennessee, Sinclair,
Nashville. Anyway, okay. What else? I didn't write anything down. What else was on the montage? Because we got to get ready for our interview.
We do got to get ready for our interview.
Anything we can hit in like 2 minutes?
I'm trying to pick which one in my brain. I mean, the Carmelo Anthony trial is coming up now, and it's already.
Remind everybody who Carmelo Anthony is.
Carmelo Anthony was the 17-year-old who stabbed Austin Metcalf, the white teenager, at a track event, claiming that his claim was that Austin got upset that Carmelo was under the wrong tent or something, and Carmelo literally stabbed him in the heart, and he died. And if you remember, Carmelo Anthony is the same one that there was a massive GoFundMe, I believe it was, that was created for him to bail him out of jail. It reached, I want to say, close to $1 million. Bailed him out, got his family a mansion in a gated community, and they are living nice because of all the donations, because he stabbed Austin Metcalf in the heart and got out of jail. But the trial is about to start, and there's already like protests. We'll see some of the protests in the Clown World montage, but they're getting pretty ugly. This is going to turn in like an OJ type trial, I think. And we can go into, it's a much, much deeper evergreen topic. But
I think Abs would probably have a lot to say about it too.
We actually talked about this when y'all filled him for Phil, because it was happening then.
No way.
I remember.
How do you remember all this?
Kareem from Huntsville called in and argued with all about it.
Wait, Kareem?
Kareem.
Oh, there's Kareem, and then there's Caleb with a K.
Yeah, no, Kareem from Huntsville called in. I remember.
What happened to Caleb with a K?
Don't know. But yeah, that's the story. So they're going through jury selection and such now, but it's going to be ugly. And let me just tell you this. I'll just say, if Carmelo Anthony does not get life in jail and life in prison, what kind of justice?
Are you going to riot?
I won't riot, but I will lose all hope in our justice
Maybe we should.
system.
I was listening to something this morning about civil disobedience.
I don't know if it's civil to riot, though.
Well, no, but I'm thinking like we could go sit somewhere.
sit in the front of the bus.
We could have a sit-in.
Like,
I'll show you.
I'm not going to the back. Okay, nobody's making you.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah, I will get off this bus.
Oh, Lord. Okay, y'all. We will be back with Jay Mitchell and Pamela Casey. You don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All that is due to science and technology. So as you recall growing up, whenever your granddaddy planted beans, he had to plow the weeds out. Well, now they have this Roundup Ready stuff that you can spray the beans and it kills the weeds and doesn't kill the beans, for instance. And that is technology that's allowed farmers to be more productive. However, GMO, genetically modified, is a terrible name. Whoever thunk that up should not have, they should have picked something more pleasant sounding.
Yeah.
Because it sounds bad. But it has been proven generally GMO is safe. Now, the Roundup thing, Monsanto got sued and they're going through the legal process and it's not been pleasant for them. However, the government, all that being involved, remember when I was a kid, we used to spray French rose and we could spray in the spring and it would be dead all summer. And I tell my son all the time, I said, man, you just don't know how good we had it and how bad you got it. Because now we spray and then in 4 or 5 weeks when it rains, we got to spray again.
Yep.
So we've dumbed down our chemicals. Rat bait don't kill rats anymore. All this stuff that we have because it's safer now. We realize that in the 60s we wasn't being safe. So my opinion on that stuff is let's follow the science with it, because I'm certainly not a scientist. And we are better off with technology and some of the things that we have available today for farming, but there is probably some risk as well.
Yeah.
So it's a balance.
It is a balance.
Makes sense.
Like so many things in 2026. It's kind of bizarre what we have to think about. I mean, yes, advances in technology are great, but then, you go to Italy and you eat bread and you eat their wheat and you're not sick and you don't have the gluten stuff.
Right.
I think it's so weird. It's like, you got to give and take there.
How long has it been since you had a loaf of bread at home that molded? Bread don't mold anymore.
Yeah. No, it's weird.
We had, like I said, we had the grocery store. So we used to get bread. There's a bakery in Gadsden and Birmingham, all over the place. You bake bread in all those communities, and we'd get bread in the store on Tuesday that was baked Monday night. Well, now we get bread on Tuesday that's baked last Thursday in Georgia and it's transported over here. So it's
still, that is kind of weird. That is,
there's something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I started making bread for that reason.
Yes.
My daughter got us doing that just because that's not great. It's not what we grew up with.
Yeah.
And there is a difference, even with athletes when they were over there for the Olympics. And there was a big difference in what we can eat. But with bread alone, we eat so much bread. Maybe y'all can dig into that.
I encourage you to shop at your local cottage food industry folks, the farmers market where they make this bread. I encourage everybody. We own a grocery store. I want to sell more bread and more groceries. But we encourage all of our friends, and we us included, go buy from the farmers market. Look at Sweet Grown, Alabama, and look where they're selling the bread and the freezer beef and the cantaloupes. Go buy from those people. They need your business, and gosh, it's so much better, safer, and fresher.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, what are your what are your top priorities? Like, say you're elected day one, you walk in and you're like, "Hey, 300 people. This is what we're doing."
2 things. Number 1 is food safety. We can never get complacent in this country. We can never get to a place in this country where we're concerned about the next bite is it safe to eat. So because of the things we've talked about, the inspections, our food is safe in this country, in this state. So that'll always be priority to make sure whatever we do, new businesses, new technology, new products, we're going to have safe food. Number 2 is farmer profitability for many reasons, but we've got to make sure our farmers stay in business. They can be sustainable, because we understand and we appreciate that it's important that we know where our food comes from, but there's going to be a generation come along someday that doesn't care, and we can't get to that place in this country. We've got to keep these guys in business so we can eat food grown in Alabama. And what kind of sucks about it is a farmer is we don't get to set our price. Whoever made this system up many years ago, you plant 1,000 acres of corn and you get whatever the big guys, I'm just going to use Cargill as an example, whoever they are buying your grain, they pay you what they want to pay. When I take cattle to the livestock market, I pay what they pay. I don't get to set my price except if I'm doing the freezer beef guys. So it's important to, like, we have guys even now come by our store selling watermelons or cantaloupes in season, and they say, "Hey, you want to buy this bin of watermelon?" I said, "Man, yes, I do. How much you want for them?" "I don't know what you give me for them." I said, "Well, whatever you tell me." So what we do a lot of times, we'll look at the market, what I can buy them wholesale from my supplier, and usually we'll agree on that price. And I'll pay them what I'm paying anyway. I don't get them any cheaper. I don't want to beat down my farmer friend, but I can put those in the grocery store and put on their Blount County watermelons or Smith Farms or Morgan Farm sausage, and man, they'll buy them because they know the Smith Farms guy.
Yes.
So farmer profitability is number 2, and then after that, we'll just with 18 departments, we're going to take it as it comes, I guess.
So I completely relate to what you're saying about the big guys setting the prices, because it's the same in healthcare. They set the prices for everybody else, and so there's like a helplessness there. How do you ensure farmer profitability? Because I know it's a whole thing, but I don't understand it.
Well, I don't think we can control what the big boys are going to pay. You can't tell Blue Cross, hey, you got to pay more. We can't tell them, hey, you're going to pay more. Mm-hmm. So I think we've got to work it from the bottom up. We've got to find revenue streams for our farmers. And one thing, through the Sweet Grown program, there's a program in school now where the school gets reimbursed. If I use tomatoes as example because I'm from Sand Mountain and there's tomatoes, Chandler Mountain and all that. So if a school system, if Marshall County Schools buys tomatoes from a local farmer on Chandler Mountain and puts it on a kid's plate, Marshall County Schools gets reimbursed 20 cents per plate, per serving. So if they do tomatoes and they may do squash, that's 40 cents. So we're going to encourage the schools. A lot of schools are utilizing that program. It's a pretty new program, 3 or 4 or 5 years old. And the legislature funds that. It's not the Ag Department's money. We have to ask them for the money. And they've increased funding every year. So I want to increase that and put some protein on there. Let's put some chicken on there or some sausage for breakfast. You know, we process 22 million chickens a week in Alabama. So we got a lot of chicken access here. We're the number 2 catfish producing. We're the number 2 catfish producing state in the country. And we need to put some catfish. Let's let those kids eat some Alabama catfish. So that's a way we can grow this. We can look at I'm not sure we can do our prisons, but our local jails, we can encourage, somehow incentivize our jails and hospitals when they're bidding this food to find some way to incentivize them to buy Alabama products. You know, as a mayor, we can bid like a police car. And if I got a local dealer in my town, we can pay 5% more because he's local, according to state law. Well, let's pay 5% more to our farmers. People say all the time there's waste in government. I don't know if there is or not, but let's just assume there is. If we're going to waste money in government, let's waste it.
Welcome back to The Right Side. I'm in a weird, I've never sat on this side of the table. I feel very Amy Bethish.
Yeah, it's Amy Beth's spot.
Yeah, but I am not Amy Beth. I'm Allison Sinclair with JP and a super tall Jay Mitchell, candidate for Attorney General of Alabama, and Pamela Casey, former candidate. That's kind of awkward. But are you loving your new life, like not on the road?
Yes and no. I mean, just working. My husband's not loving it because we installed 100 feet of PVC pipe at our house over the last weekend.
What do you?
Our gutters got blocked, and we pulled up the corrugated pipe, and I was like, let's put PVC down. And
so now you're not traveling to all 67 counties. You have time for like home projects?
Whole list.
And then I forget you still have like a district attorney job that you have to do.
Every 24/7. I've already been on the phone with officers this morning.
Well, we appreciate y'all being here. Jay, actually the first time you've been on the show, and I am kind of embarrassed, and I've known you for a while, and known your name. We've been in kind of the same places, but I had to Google this morning, like, where is Jay Mitchell from? So tell us a little bit about yourself. I did find out you're from Mobile.
Well, I was born in Mobile.
Okay.
My parents were living in the area at the time. I did my early growing up in the Wiregrass, where my parents were from originally. So down Coffee County, Dothan area down there. My late mother was from Geneva. But my dad was a salesman. My mom was a Christian school teacher and a stay-at-home mom. And my dad got transferred to Birmingham when I was 10. So I went to Homewood Middle School and Homewood High School.
So do you say like you grew up in Homewood?
Yeah.
Your formidable years in Homewood.
That's all right.
And then what happened?
Well, then I went across town to Birmingham Southern. Rest in peace.
Yeah, but kind of cool. How do you feel about the Coast Guard?
I'm great. I'm great with that. Yeah, it's sort of a redemption story to see the Coast Guard coming there. Sad to see the college close. I was a walk-on basketball player there 30 years ago. Amy Beth's husband, Chris, had just graduated right before I got there. But he and I have known each other a long time and played a lot of basketball against each other.
Very cool. So went to Birmingham Southern, and then where'd you go to law school?
University of Virginia.
That's random.
Yeah.
It's a dang good school, though.
Yeah.
No,
Good.
I'm not. Look, let's go. But that is kind of random. Like I thought you were going to say University of Alabama. No.
Yeah, I went to the University of Virginia, great law school. Met my wife Elizabeth there, who's a proud Auburn grad. We met the first day of law school and fell in love, got married, and then moved back to Alabama right after law school to practice law.
And then you're back in Homewood.
Yeah, back in Homewood. That's right.
2 kids?
4 kids.
4?
Yeah, 4 kids. Elizabeth didn't practice law for very long. We got pregnant, and she got pregnant, and she wanted to stay at home with kids. So we had 4 kids. We had 4 kids in 6 years, and so our oldest has just graduated from college and gotten engaged. And so we're very busy at the house right now.
I say 4. I have 4, but 2
You
are.
have 4?
I have 4, but I didn't cheat, but 2 are adopted, so I didn't have to birth 4, and so I feel like kind of like, but they're all just like 18, 24 months apart.
That's hard.
So I get you.
That being that close, like mine were 19, 20. And one's potty trained, it was a game changer.
Yeah, it's a
one
lot.
Can dress themselves, it becomes one can hold a bottle, it becomes so that's I guess
It's like a rotating, it's a whole thing. So somewhere in there though, you ran and were elected to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And you served, what was your first term or first year there?
Yeah, I was elected in 2018.
Okay.
Before that, I spent 16 years in the courtroom as a lawyer, and then I was elected to the Alabama Supreme Court in 2018. And so I served there for 6.5 years. And in order to be able to run for Attorney General, under our state's judicial ethics rules, if you're a judge and you're going to run for a non-judicial position, you have to leave the bench. So I left the bench in order to run for this.
which is a little different. He and I didn't have to leave DA's office to run for AG, but a judge can't run while they're a judge for like if he was going to run for a different appellate, like somebody on the appellate court, like the Crims or the Sibs could run for the Supreme Court and not step down.
Okay.
But if you're going to run for non-judicial, you have to leave because there's that appearance of impartiality and
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so that's great. Why run for Attorney General?
Well, the short answer is I feel called to it. And there are a couple of big things going on there. One is, being on the Alabama Supreme Court, handling a ton of, we handle the biggest cases we have in the legal system in Alabama on both the criminal and the civil side. And I was really troubled by some of what I was seeing with respect to crime going on in Alabama, especially in our hot spots like Montgomery and Birmingham have been here over the last number of years, and feeling like I could make a difference there based on my judicial experience. The other thing was candidly seeing President Trump get reelected. I'm a big fan of President Trump, a big fan of his policies, his vision, and watching him come back into office, be sworn back in last year, just had a real impact on me. And I really believe we've entered a new national moment with President Trump in the White House. I think this is a gigantic opportunity for our country to get generational conservative victories. And then you kind of boil it down to what's going on in the states. The only way we're going to have true lasting conservative change in America is if it happens, not just in DC, but also in the states, and in particular in red states. So I really feel called to the opportunity to help initiate and catalyze that kind of conservative change that we need in Alabama, and to really be in line with what the president's doing.
It is funny how, growing up, it was Washington, D.C., and everything was kind of grand and glamorous up in D.C., the federal side of politics and policy. And over the years, I have come to learn how important your state and states' rights and protecting that. And I don't think there's a more important, I guess you could argue the governor's office, but the attorney general's office is probably the most important, in my opinion, as we've watched over the past few years between COVID and lots of different crazy things that have tried to come down, especially during Biden. Just protecting your state's values is so important. We had you on, you talked about why you were running, had the election, you ran an incredible race. Really, I was not, it was so, all three of you all have run a great race, but someone had to walk away, not in the runoff. You endorsed Jay. Why? Jay Mitchell.
Yeah, it really came down to, I thought the attorney general should have some legal background in terms of in the courtroom. It's really hard to run an office and understand what DAs and other attorneys in the office are doing if you've never walked in the courtroom, stood in front of a judge, and really had that experience. And Jay's the only other one left in the race that's actually been in the courtroom. I mean, it's kind of like someone going to the police academy and coming out and being an investigator. Well, unless you work the streets and you understand it, it's really hard to do the higher level. But, the main thing for me was all the money that came into this race. If you look at the amount of money that's come in, I think I spent about $200,000. And I really think that dark money that you can't really tie down. I mean, you see who is on the sheets, but it's really coming through a 50C4. It bothered me that what I saw as a try to work around our campaign finance laws was going to be in charge of the AG's office. And so I wanted to make sure that I did my part in protecting the people of the state from dark money by endorsing the one person that we can look at their contribution list and know where the money's coming from. AL.com put out an article today, and whether you like AL.com or not, I think it's a very well written article about where all that money's coming from. And, Jay and I were friends on the campaign trail. I mean, literally, like, people would sometimes laugh and be like, y'all actually talk? I'm like, yeah, we're friends. And I didn't know Jay. I just got to know him. And so, we took a week. My husband and I both talked about it. We didn't just jump right in. And we feel like Jay is the person that should run that office and lead that office. He has the experience. But more than that, he's been transparent with the people of the state of Alabama.
I do want, because all the gambling money that came in with American Conservative Fund, all that played a role in some of the state level races, House, Senate districts. There was lots, the term dark money is thrown around a lot. What is dark money? Because actually I had a 501c4 local Alabama for years. And, 501c4s are legal entities. Like Eagle Forum has a branch of 501c4. They can give to political things. So how do you differentiate what's good and what's bad? And when you say dark money, what do y'all mean?
Let me jump on that just say, Jane, but you said something that's important. You said you'd had it for what? For years. Yeah. So when you have these 501c4s that are literally established within days or weeks before money is then pushed through, and they're tied to a post office box somewhere. Yeah. That's a problem. I have no problem with Johnny's Hamburgers, who's been open for 20 years, that's in Virginia, giving a campaign $1 million. Good for Johnny. He's worked hard. We know where he is. You can go in. You can't even go knock on the door on these 501c4s, or, who's putting that money into that 501c4. And that's just a loop around PAC-to-PAC transfers. It's literally a way to get around it.
Yeah, that's well said. I think it's important for a couple of big reasons. First and foremost, the people of Alabama deserve to know who's funding our campaigns. And, the truth of the matter is, with all these candidates for public office, you're going to dance with the one who brought you. And I think the people of Alabama deserve to know who is funding my campaign. Every dollar I've raised, and by the way, 97% of the dollars I've raised are from right here in Alabama. It's individuals, it's families, it's businesses, and it's 100% disclosed with the Secretary of State's office. So I think it's important. I think the people of Alabama deserve to have that information to know, hey, who is Jay? Who is Pam? Who would they be likely to pick up the phone and answer a call from? Who would they be responsive to? And so the people of Alabama can go to the Secretary of State's office and look at everybody who's given to me. It's 100% disclosed. The other big reason to me, the Attorney General is the chief law enforcement officer of the state. And in prosecuting things like public corruption, white collar crime, this is the kind of tactic, this kind of shell company popping things up, moving things through, moving things around. This is the kind of tactic that those engaged in public corruption and white collar crime engage in. And I think we need an attorney general who's above that, who's not taking money from entities that are being moved around like that to hide money from the people of Alabama.
So is it illegal what they're doing, or it's just like I'll say sometimes, like, things in politics, it's not illegal, but it's unsavory. Like Alabama being ranked number 4 in legal corruption. Like these kind of things, is it? I don't think there's anything illegal in what I'm hearing y'all saying. It's not illegal. It's just there's not a history there. And a 501c4, a lot of people like to give to because you do stay anonymous individually. But you're just saying there's not a track record of people they've supported, of kind of a history there of what they actually stand for. Or are there ones that you can say aren't on the up and up that have been around for a while that maybe are supporting Catherine?
Well, and look, regardless of who the money is going to, regardless what race it's going into, when you set up a 501c4 or someone sets up a 501c4 within days and or weeks of making $1 million contribution, tell me why. Why were you not willing to let that person even put it in an Alabama PAC and make that contribution? It is a way to avoid the law as our state legislators wrote it. Senator Orr, if I remember correctly, had a bill trying to get rid of this because it's just a way to, as you said, it's not illegal, but it's like saying, hey, watch this. I'm going to go around the laws that y'all created. Nothing you can do about it. You know who gets the short end of the stick? The people of the state of Alabama.
Well, and Allison, it's not a small amount of money either. I mean, it's well over half of my runoff opponent's money is through these kinds of tactics and shell games. And I just think that's problematic. And I think the people of Alabama, if I were, sitting in, Joe Q. Public's chair, sitting here looking at this race, I'd be wondering, who are these people? Yeah. Why are they hiding it? And what do these people possibly want with Alabama Attorney General's office? What do they want with that? It concerns me. I think it concerns a lot of Republican voters out there who's doing this, and what do they want with this office?
So can you, and this is something that we talk about actually a lot, and especially during campaign season, or even when you're in office, say you're elected, can you take money from entities? Like there's a legislator that I really respect, consider a friend. They take AEA money, which I have a huge issue with the AEA. But they also were one of the biggest proponents of school choice. There's another legislator that I'm friends with that takes Porch Creek money, but they'll say, I vote against gambling every time. So is that the exception? Like you said, we need to know who these people will be answering to. Can you take the money and not do the bidding of those people? Or is that just, am I being naive?
But there's not a record with this candidate. There's not a record of showing, because they've never run for office before, to see whether or not they took Porch Creek, but they're going to vote again. Whatever. You're talking about people who have a history that we can look at. I was thinking about Ryan here today. If somebody walked into your children and said, hey, your kid walked in like, Mom, I got $500 today from a gentleman walking down the street, you'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
What gentleman? Well, I don't know. Well, what does he want from you? Like, how is that any different? Why? Who is it? And if you know who it is, then why don't you just say, hey, man, let's just put it on my records. I don't want to have to even deal with this.
Yeah. So how do average voters, because I think actually this whole American Conservative Fund, whatever, DraftKings was a really good exercise for the people of Alabama. I don't know if anybody's ever read the small print of, funded by. Teach us, like, what are we looking for? How do we know what's legit and what's not? Are there websites people need to go to and kind of look at the history, or like, how do we?
Well, I ask Catherine. She
any race.
She knows who it is. Just ask her and let her tell you. I mean, either in the public forum like this, or people going up and seeing us at things we show up at. Just ask her who gave you all this money.
I guess I'm curious in a more general, like if it's the U.S. Senate race or whatever, like how do you actually check into this if you don't have access to you or a candidate? I mean, I guess you can email. Do y'all pay attention to your emails?
I do. I mean,
you give out your cell phone number. You're crazy.
I am a little crazy. You can go to alabamavotes.gov. You can put in a political candidate's name and what race they're looking for. You can look at a PAC. So even if
you can type in like the name that's on the bottom of the mailer, and
if it's a PAC, if it's set up as a PAC, then you should be able to look that up. The problem is you look it up and then you've got to go do a little research about, well, where's it from? And then you may have
follow
to
the
you may have to go to look in Tennessee and see where in Tennessee that money, and then you'd have to go and get that Secretary of State's set up the paperwork. That's going to cost a voter money to have to do that. Whereas in Alabama, we have a really good system where you could actually follow the trail and it's at no cost to the people. We can't follow the trail of all the money that's come in.
I see what you're saying. Do y'all have any other closing thoughts on that? Because I actually wanted to get to some like policy kind of where
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. Talk about other things.
One of the things, people either loved or hated your Allah Akbar, your butt back. I thought it was hysterical. And I kind of identify with the sentiment. What can the Attorney General's office actually do on immigration and Sharia law and kind of protecting us? We're seeing it creep very quickly, even in North Shelby County, Pelham, a lot of Muslim infiltration into our political systems. And is there a balance there? Like, how do you not infringe on the rights of the people that are here, but protect America and Alabama?
Yeah, well, let me be very clear. What I said in that advertisement was really about sounding the alarm on the encroachment of radical Islam. And, you may remember that ad ran right after there had been a number of radical Islamic events here in the U.S. The guy shooting up the bar in Austin, Texas, the guy attacking the Army ROTC unit in Virginia, ramming into a synagogue in Michigan, throwing an IED over the fence at the mayor's mansion in New York. All that happened within a couple of weeks there in March. What I've been alarmed about, and I know others have been alarmed about, is seeing even what's been going on in our surrounding sister southern states. It's not just a Dearborn, Michigan thing or a Minneapolis thing or a New York thing. You look at Texas, you look at Florida. There's been very rapid development of mosque and madrasas and Islamic centers. And so what I wanted to really sound the alarm on was we don't want to allow the conditions in Alabama to be created that would allow radical Islam to take root. And I actually put out a plan about this, a specific policy plan. And among those things is, number one, we've got to make sure that Alabama's prohibition on Sharia law is not circumvented, is not
because it's already illegal here.
It's illegal here.
You're worried about.
I'm worried about workarounds like we've seen in Texas, for example, where they've set up private tribunals to adjudicate disputes under Sharia law, not under Texas and American law. We need to make sure.
How is that even? Like, that just blows my mind.
We need to and some of this is going to be preemptive in Alabama, but we're seeing it happen right near us. I believe we need to have a law in Alabama that would allow the state to designate domestic terror organizations. And so you've seen in Texas, you've seen in Florida. I would be in favor of designating the Muslim Brotherhood, the Council on American Islamic Relations, Students for Justice in Palestine, which has done a lot of the rabble rousing on campuses, inciting anti-Semitic protest. And the important thing is these groups and their auxiliaries are being used to funnel money for the rapid development of things like these Islamic centers. And so if there are laws being violated where perhaps foreign money is being shuttled through these entities, the Attorney General needs to go investigate that and make sure that we don't allow those things to take root here. What Attorney General Ken Paxton is doing in Texas right now, he's been very proactive about this, really pushing back on this. I think that's a model for what we need to be doing in Alabama. And we need an Attorney General who understands it with clarity, and will call a spade, and will be proactive and preemptive in making sure that this kind of thing doesn't take root in Alabama.
Redistricting, that was a wild ride. I still don't think it's over. How do you feel about where we are and what should happen from here?
Well, I'm grateful for the ruling that the U.S. Supreme Court gave the other night that at least allows Alabama to have maps that will enable 6 House Republicans to go to Washington. But look, I think like our other fellow sister southern states, we need to go for the jugular here and draw maps that are constitutional. And we should be unapologetic about drawing maps that would allow 7 Republicans to go up there. President Trump needs all the help he can get up there in the House. We know what a razor thin margin it is. And so I would even be in favor of, I know we're going short on time here before the election in November, but if there's a way to speed that up and even bring the legislature back in to get 7 potential Republican districts drawn, I'm very much in favor of that.
I 100% agree. I don't know why we didn't do it while we were hanging out in Montgomery a few weeks ago. Just go ahead and do it. I mean, let's just get it done while we're here. Day one, I think we've got JP, like 2 minutes?
About 1.
Oh, that flew by. Dang it. Okay. Day one, you're the new Attorney General for Alabama. What are you walking into the office saying? Hey, everybody, these are my 3 things we're getting done this week.
Yeah. Well, the
Okay,
first,
maybe not this week, but like we're going to get started on it.
yeah, but getting things set in motion for sure.
Like, what are your top priorities?
Yeah. Well, number one is going to be dealing with the problem of violent crime in Alabama, especially in our blue cities. Coach Tuberville's been very outspoken about the fact that we got to deal with crime in places like Montgomery and Birmingham and Bessemer. So that's going to be priority number one, making sure we're jumping on that. And I'm very thankful I've got the support of great law enforcement leaders across the state who are behind me in this race. Second big thing, we got to make sure the Attorney General's office is getting even more aggressive on the issue of life. You know, what we've seen in the wake of the Dobbs decision is that abortion hasn't magically gone away. It's just shifted to pills, to chemical abortion. And so we got to make sure we have an Attorney General who's got his eye on that issue. I'm very thankful in this race to have the support of Alabama Citizens for Life. These are tens of thousands of pro-life Alabamians across the state who are behind me in this race. Now, the third big thing to me, and Pam's done an amazing job of this in the DA's office, is making sure that we are putting the hammer down to prosecute and put away online child predators. I've got 4 kids. All my kids have grown up doing the online gaming thing. I've raised teenagers and I'm raising teenagers. And I tell you, it's really difficult for parents out here right now to put the guardrails on there, to put the protective mechanisms on there to protect your kids. We got to make sure that our government and our prosecutors are stepping up to do more to apprehend these guys and to hold accountable those who are enabling it. And we got to be in that fight. You know, I've seen MAGA AGs across the country be much more deeply in that fight. And we got to get in that fight. And I'm just going to tell you, Allison, I'm getting in that fight and I'm coming to that fight with the heart of a dad. Yeah. We have got to protect our kids.
We need help. I think it's all hands on deck at this point. I do kind of go, I had no clue. And you're all's kids. I mean, yours are older. Like, I'm sure you remember them being younger and not having cell phones. And then all of a sudden these cell phones, and I don't think we understood what we were handing our kids.
You know, when I talk about it, you look at the back of a phone and the phone has an Apple. If you've got an iPhone with the bot out of it. And when I go out and speak to people, I tell them, I say, like, when's the last time in history that the bot of an Apple opened evil to the world? And yet we hand our kids these, literally, it shows evil. And they become all wrapped up in it. It's the most dangerous thing that you can give a kid.
100%. Where can people find out about you, your campaign?
Yeah. Our website is j4alabama.com.
Is it J4?
For FOR. j4alabama.com. And then we're on Facebook and Instagram, and would love for your followers, your viewers, listeners to come alongside us and be with us in this campaign. The runoff's in 11 days. It's a very important choice the people of Alabama have before them. And I'd respectfully ask that you vote for Jay Mitchell for Alabama Attorney General.
Love it. I think candidates should ask for votes more often.
Too many people forget that.
Yep. Y'all will be right back on the right side.
Food from Alabama.
I like it.
I like the reason.
Sorry to argue that. I mean, we're going to waste
it's
it.
true.
Yeah. If you were going to waste it, like, let's at least help ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quickly, we've got a few more minutes, but there's a lot of talk about SNAP benefits and I know the legislature approached some things but what you own a grocery store, ag commissioner, like what needs to change with SNAP?
Well, unfortunately, the ag commissioner has zero authority over SNAP. It's a federal program. The legislature did. Right now, there's no hot food waivers in the country. The legislature, there's a bill in Congress to change that, which will be good. We want to sell more Alabama chicken in our grocery stores. But the reason is, how much time we got? No hot food waivers, typically, historically.
What's a hot food waiver?
Your SNAP card, you can only buy cold food. You can buy frozen pizza. You can buy green. It was designed years ago for you to come in the store and buy milk, bread, sugar, flour, eggs, and go home and cook for your family. Well, we can't penalize those people because nobody cooks for their family anymore, typically. So they can buy anything as long as it's not prepared. You can't go to the deli and get a hot sandwich off our deli bar in our store. You can't get a hot plate, meat and 3 deal. You can't buy that.
Can you get a cold sandwich?
You can go get a cold sandwich. So what?
Wait, you can get a Subway sandwich that's cold.
Not Subway.
I mean, sorry.
Like a sub.
A sub, sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
A sub sandwich that's cold, but if you stick it in a little steamer, you can't buy it?
Correct.
That's Doesn't make
But
sense.
Because the theory is you have to eat it just then.
Yes, you
Not
wanna go
you're not
home
taking it
and-
home
yes.
for your family.
And the reason the industry has fought the hot food waiver is because let's say the rotisserie chicken's in the grocery store, we can buy that. Well, next thing KFC says, hey, I sell rotisserie chicken. Come over here with your SNAP card. So you go over there to the restaurant. And then, hey, while you're here, go and throw in this high carb food. Well, we can't do that, but we're going to do it anyway. Well, then Santa Fe calls, hey, I got chicken on my menu. I want them over here. So before you know it, you're at Taco Bell with a SNAP card. And as taxpayers, we don't want that. We want them to get the most bang for their buck with a SNAP card and eat healthy, of course. So that's always been the hot food waiver issues, because it would lead to other things. Okay. However, if you go to the freezer section in your grocery store, no matter where it's at, there's a door or 2 or 3 of just frozen chicken in beautiful packages. It's rotisserie, it's teriyaki, it's cooked, ready to eat. All you got to do is warm it up. Typically, some of it is not completely cooked. But Tyson is one example that has a lot of choices on. It's called Further Process, and they have all that. So you can buy rotisserie chicken today on a food stamp card, take it home, put it in the microwave, and eat it. Another thing about the rotisserie chicken and what we do in our store, everything that doesn't sell today, even our hot plates that doesn't sell today, we cool them down and put them in the cooler, and tomorrow they're marked down 10 cents a pound, and you can buy them on the SNAP card. Now, our SNAP customers know that, and they'll come, and by 10 o'clock, that stuff's gone, because they know it was yesterday's food. They get it today on the SNAP program. So it's available now. You just can't get it hot and run home and eat it while it's hot. And nobody does that anyway. They're going to warm it up and buy it for tomorrow or 6 hours from now.
That's good to know.
Yeah, that is good.
So rotisserie chicken and other things are available. It's just cold. That's the talking point, I guess, on that.
Okay. All right. That's so interesting. We learned a lot.
We did. Thank you so much for being here. Where people, June 16th, get out and vote.
Please.
And actually, as of today, you have 5 days to get your absentee ballot in the mail and sent back. Because a lot of y'all are going to be at the beach and you haven't realized it yet.
It's true.
Yep.
So
look at your calendar. Make sure you're going to be home.
And make plans that day. But where can people find out more about your campaign? How they find you?
CoreyHillForAlabama.com.
Spell Corey.
Corey.
Yeah.
CoreyHillForAlabama.com. Right Side Media is a pretty cool place to check out. And CoreyHillForAlabama.com.
Thank you for that. Love that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for that.
I actually learned a lot. I do want to know how you feel about heifers. You like your little heifer cows?
Do we?
My cows. You're talking about cows.
Cows, yeah.
Okay. I love heifers.
There's a reason I'm asking that. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
We'll be back.
We don't want waste and abuse and fraud. We don't want that in government. We want to find it. So that's one thing I want to get after when I'm lieutenant governor, to make sure we are being responsible with the people's money.
Is there any, I mean, you've been in the legislature and now served as Secretary of State for 4 years, which that's kind of crazy.
It's crazy how quick it went.
Yeah.
And we have done we've been in some battles.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Had one last
we're about
night.
to talk about that for sure. But I'm curious what you would say. Like
Yeah.
you've worked on budgets and you've done all that in the legislature.
Yeah.
Are there areas that you can say, and not insinuating there's fraud, but are there
Right.
areas that you go, I know we can cut spending there?
Well, I mean, you look at my office that I'm in now. I mean, I just touched on it. We're going to save by the time I leave in January of 27, a little over $2 million. I mean, there was a law passed years ago. There were some unintended consequences that touched our office, and people had to go back and file a piece of paperwork. And we said, you know what, and file a $10 fee for small business. And we're like, why are we doing this? So we said, we're just going to lop the head off of this thing and get rid of it. So we went and got a piece of legislation passed through Margie Wilcox and David Sessions, and to lower the burden again. And so by the time we get out of office, that's about $690,000 that's not going to be coming into the office, the revenue to the secretary's office. So what happens when it doesn't come in? You can't spend it.
It's the weirdest thing. Well, you
crazy.
can. It's not very smart.
Well,
I don't know where you get the money.
Well, that money not coming into our office, we can't budget with it, so we don't have it available. So we're not going to spend it. So that those
Can you
taxpayers,
tell the federal government that?
They need to listen to us.
Yeah.
They need to know and listen to what Alabama's doing, because we are doing it the right way. Yeah.
Redistricting.
Yeah.
I was playing Mahjong last night, and as I'm playing, all the texts started flying in
I like
that we had kind of a big win. What are your thoughts on this whole? Because it's been exhausting, and I I'm just on the outside watching, so I only know what I see on Twitter or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You've been on the inside dealing with this. Is this where you thought we would be? Did you know we were going to win and have a 6-1 map versus a 5-2 map?
Well, I had confidence that we would ultimately win. I didn't know the timing of it. And
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily know the timing. You don't know what the federal courts are going to do in their timing, but I knew that we were right all along. And when I first came into office, my name is on that case, the Allen versus Milligan. So we've been intimately involved in this case, and we're so proud that the state of Alabama had a win last night. It's not just good for me because my name's on it. It's good for the state of Alabama that the people.
I kind of forget your names on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
Like forever in history.
Yeah.
You're stuck with that one, but at least you're a winner.
Well, at least we won.
Yes,
right.
that's good.
So it's important through the people, the voters of this state, through their elected representatives, get to draw their congressional district lines and not some court-ordered bureaucrat. So it's important, and it's a big win in light of Calais. And so we're extremely pleased, and we're looking forward to the August 11th. Getting prepared for the August 11th special election.
Okay. I want to pause right there. And I don't know if you can do this off the top of your head, which, by the way, I think we have a reel coming out today because I did do kind of the dates for absentee voting and how we need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
I feel like so many people are so confused,
okay,
which it's fine. We got to do this. This is the right thing to do, you know, but what are the dates and where do we go to find out if you're in District 1, District 7, we vote on different day or what's happening?
So June the 16th is the runoff.
Okay. For everybody.
For the primary we just held.
Okay.
In May 19th, right?
Okay.
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 So
that was a 5-2.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So in districts,
close my eyes.
in districts 1, 2, 6, and 7.
Okay.
All right. We will have a special election August 11th. Now, the special session that the House and Senate just had that the governor called, remember, back in May?
Yeah.
They had all that.
Yeah.
All right. So they passed that bill and voided those results that were taking place for those 4 districts on the May 19th primary.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we even did that before.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Right.
Before last night.
Okay.
Okay.
So those will not appear. Those 4 races will not appear on the primary runoff coming up on June 16th. They will have their own separate special election, 1, 2, 6, and 7, August the 11th. And it's a winner take all. There is no runoff for that special election.
Thank you, Jesus. Okay.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a lot.
Okay. But if you live in 1, 2, 6, or 7, you still need to go to the runoff election because there might
coming up. Yes.
because there might be other.
Well, there's constitutional officers. I mean, there's,
this one's on the ballot. Welcome back to the right side. Of course, my headphones aren't working again. Sorry about that delay. We just had so much to do. Actually, we had lots of chairs to move and microphones. But that was Jay Mitchell, candidate for Attorney General of Alabama, and Pamela Casey, former candidate. That was great. I mean, for him, he hasn't been on before. It's nice. I didn't really know. Well, I knew he lived here in Birmingham, but I didn't know much about him. So
yeah,
I appreciate them stopping by. What do we have? Do you want to finish montage stuff? Do you want to go into Clown World? My computer, of course, isn't coming on. I can't see Clown World.
What?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna pull myself up on the Twix.
Okay. Well,
can I just watch on the Twitters?
Go to the Notes app and use the link for the stream so you can watch it live.
That's so smart. Yeah. So smart.
I think we can wrap up montage topics, or I don't know if there's Alabama stories that you want to touch on that are.
I think trending. I'm good. It's Friday. I'm kind of ready. What are you doing this weekend?
Whitey. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of nothing this weekend.
We headed to the lake house. I really wanted to go to the Auburn game, but all the tickets sold out. I'm guessing Stephen Pearl and who else? All the other coaches. Did you hear they bought tickets for all this? They bought up all the student tickets.
Oh no, I did not.
Yeah, so like Stephen Pearl and Goulish. Such a terrible name.
Goulash.
It's gonna be hard to get used to, but yeah, they all bought up all the student tickets and then just handed them out for free. I thought that was so nice.
That is nice.
Friendly.
I forgot Bama's having a super regional in Tuscaloosa this weekend too. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have not gotten a good night's sleep once this week. So maybe we can recharge this weekend, but then probably not. So we'll see.
What? You need some sleep.
I don't know. I feel like I've worked a full-time job on top of my full-time job this week with other stuff, and I don't think it's going to stop this weekend.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like babysitting me and Amy Beth.
No. Like on top, like outside of this, like
just
another full-time
life.
job outside of this, and I don't think it's stopping
Lifing
this
has been a
weekend.
full-time job.
So I woke up like whenever at least for me, whenever I'm stressed like that and I can't shut my brain off, that's typically when I sleepwalk. And I did sleepwalk this week. I woke up standing up in my living room, and my brain just does not shut off.
What do you do when you wake up? Are you like, where am I? What am I doing? Who are you?
No,
Or
because
are you like, oh, it's me again?
it actually made sense. I had a dream my apartment was getting broken into. And so like in the dream, I was like frantically like, oh crap. And then I woke up and I was actually standing up in my living room and I was like, oh, well, go
So
back.
you
to
were
the-
going to find them.
Yeah. And then I go and my blankets are all on the ground. Like I like flung them off to get up. And I was like, let's just go back to bed and try my best. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, went back to bed, woke up again at 7 this morning. So you were already texting me about the show and then and I couldn't go back to
I
sleep.
woke up at 5. So by 6:30, when I was texting you about canceling subscriptions, I had been up and at them for a long time.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No. It's fine. But I was like, well, Sinclair's up. I guess I'm up.
I guess I'll be an adult.
Yeah.
Wake up. Well, I do appreciate you putting together a montage. So I don't want to take away from montage topics if you would like to finish those. But I can't remember what they were.
The other one was Carmelo Anthony.
Well, we talked about that.
We did.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of hit them all.
Okay. You want to Clown World?
We can go and go into Clown World.
I
if
kind
you'd
of want
like.
to. Yeah, it's Friday. Let's do Clown World.
Okay.
Look at my teeny tiny phone.
Okay. Wait. We can't hear. We're gonna have to.
Why can't we hear it?
Unmute the browser and then do it again. Okay.
Congresswoman, who was the president during World War I?
Can you?
No,
Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm asking, who was the president during World War I?
I don't know.
Good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
I love being a part of it. I love being able to go out with my wife throughout the entire city and being able to say, hey, I put that sticker on that business. As of this morning, we have 129 different businesses. So a safe place is basically a business will get in contact with me. I'll come out to the location and go over the program.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
New York, we know anything's possible with a great team.
I'm Maria Elisa Avila Chevalier, and I'll defend New York by abolishing ICE.
My ultimate responsibility is doing everything I can, given what's going on back in Washington, D.C., to do everything in my power to uphold our values as a state, to uphold the dignity of everybody in Washington State, to defend everybody's rights in the face of the attacks that we see every single day. And look, I just want you all to know that there is zero chance at any moment in time that Washington State will ever back down from that. They will ever give in to the hate from Washington.
Hey, pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Is that their governor?
Yeah. and
Who is that?
That's the Washington State governor.
Yeah, but what's his name?
I don't know.
I would like to publicly shame him. Raising the what is that flag?
Pride flag.
No, it was like the Black Lives Matter tranny pride map. Minor attracted people.
He is Bob Ferguson.
Bobby.
And is the intersex inclusive progress pride flag.
The 666-2A whatever flag. Yeah, you're going to like hoist that up in front of your Capitol and say that you sometimes I surprise myself with how hopeful I still am after all these years of just getting beaten down. But like, I really thought we'd be over this. And then the police officer going around, like your tax dollars being spent putting Pride safe space stickers on walls. Are we not done? Like, that reminded me of Oak Mountain High School when all those Pride stickers were all over my daughter's science classroom. I'm like, really? She got to think about, I mean, I don't know what you think about, but like, why we got to bring what you do in your bedroom to school? Like, why does that even matter? And the whole safe space thing, I'm like, really? We're in America. Now, people inherently there are mean people in the world. There are people that are mean to straight people. There are people that are mean to white people. There are people that are mean to black people. But where in America does a gay person walk in and just get assaulted? Tell me. Like, do you get assaulted going into Walmart? Do you get assaulted going into Whole Foods? Let's see. What about, let's even go a little more daring. What about Chick-fil-A? So why are we, where do the straight people get a safe space?
Well, the entire world is our safe space, they would argue. By the way, can you turn down your phone volume all the way?
It is down all the way.
No, it's bugging me.
No, it's down all the way.
No, I was hearing it twice. But yeah, I agree with you.
Turn down your phone volume all the way.
It's my OCD. Anyway.
I thought it would, okay.
Oh, but no, the Whole Foods and the other, like, that is the ultimate safe space for, yeah.
But I mean,
they don't need and by the way, to have rainbow badges, like, how much money did we spend to make rainbow badges?
Rainbow badges. Can you imagine 40 years ago telling police officers that they were going to be wearing rainbow anything and them not laughing in your face? I give up. What does give me hope is Scott Bessent. Bessent,
yeah,
who actually is gay, is hysterical. And not only did he just say, you know, can you name the president who was president during World War I? Did you see his other testimony where they were talking about Pulte?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the new DNI. DNI? Is that right?
Yes, he's the new DNI.
Yeah, and they were like, did you say that you would punch so-and-so Pulte in the face? And he was like, no, I said I would kick his ass.
Yeah.
So funny.
Apparently he's the one that got into it with Elon too.
I love it. I actually love it. And that's not, my phone is all the way down. I'm going to put it away.
Talk real quick.
It's
not my phone.
Well, I mean, do you think it's no, my computer's dead.
I don't know. Yeah, and Bessent is not celebrating Pride Month. He's just a beast, and is secretary or the secretary of the Treasury, and he's just an animal.
I think that's how you do being a homosexual. That's how you do gay. You just go do it and don't make a big deal out of it. I don't run around everywhere talking about being straight every day.
By the way, does that bother you, me kicking my feet up and leaving?
No, I would like to do the same, but I have to sit here and hold the cord to my earphone so it doesn't unplug because I can't hear it if I kick back. Yes, I'm serious.
What'd you think about the Carmelo Anthony protests where the guy was saying, only good cracker is a dead cracker? By the way, are we allowed to say that? I mean, I'm white. I guess I can't say that.
Yeah, nobody's beating down his door saying you can't say cracker.
Yeah.
I'm not really offended by that.
I'm not either.
Like, I guess you have to say a lot worse for me to get offended. But what's worse than cracker?
For white people?
Yeah, like what could you say?
Like,
okay, let's just not even in the racist vein, but like, what is something somebody could say to you that you'd be really offended by?
Not much. I don't get offended with much personally, but I will say the one time somebody called me a skinhead, and I
Like, you
remember
do
that.
kind of look like a skinhead.
But I'm not.
But I mean, but you kind of look like one.
Really? So
because you have a skinned head.
Okay, yeah, but like I am a skinhead, but somebody one time called me a racist skinhead.
Oh, like they didn't mean it just because your head was skinned.
No.
They meant it because you're like far right.
Like
and
they
probably,
tried to say like I was far right, and yeah.
that is kind of, I guess I'm not easily offended by, let's see, what really gets me going? You call me anything. I don't like being misrepresented.
That's the part that, that's
Yeah.
the frustrating ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't care if people make jokes about me, but it's the ones that like, where they're purposely twisting and misrepresenting that I'm like, seriously? And maybe I'll get used to it because we kind of chose a business where that's not common, but like ultra common, where people misrepresent you.
Yeah.
So,
That you need to do something else
yeah.
at least stop writing.
Yeah,
That
that's
seems
true.
to be when they all come after you.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, that maybe this is a good thing of like, what is the like one insult that does grind your gears the most? Can you think of one? Like, when was the last time somebody said something, whether it was lighthearted or not, and it actually like bugged you?
I don't know if I have feelings anymore.
That's a good way to do it.
Like, honestly, I don't know if I have feelings. Like, my feelings just don't get hurt. But except, and it's not even like, I don't know.
Maybe there isn't one.
No, there's something. It's definitely not like a physical. You can call me white. You can say that my eyes are too close together. You can say my hair is tacky because I need to get it colored again. You can call me fat. You can, I mean, what are all the things? Like, I don't really care about that. But I think I will say what bothers me is people that will say, just because maybe you have a biblical worldview of well, let's take the homosexuality whole discussion, which I think we'll have when Abs comes back. Just because I will say homosexuality, that was not part of God's design. That is not the best. That is not God's best. I can never condone that. And people just stop there. But what I'll say is everybody is made in God's image, and I love and respect you as a person. And I'm not going to treat you any differently than, like, I would say cheating on your wife or your husband is not God's best, but I'm not going to like kick you out of like the store or not ever talk to you again. Or, every time I see you, tell you you're going to hell. Might probably should tell you like that it's really not going to lead you down a good path. But see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to me, people get like, oh, you must hate gay people. I really don't. I have a lot of people that are close to me that are gay or whatever they are. And I am always very honest with them. Like, I'm sorry, I had to have a conversation the other day. They were talking about homosexual couples adopting surrogate, whatever, children. And I'm like, no, I can't tell you that that's the way God intended it. And I can't do that, but I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always be here for you. It was one of those. So I hate it when people just get half your conversation, because people that will listen to this, they could clip this and say, Allison says she hates homosexuals. It's just not true. That stuff does bother me.
And see, that's kind of the opposite for me. I mean, it's because in my head, I'm just like, okay, well, I know that's not true. But you just can't get it. You're not going to get it. And so those are the ones that honestly, I just kind of.
So like if somebody called you fat and said your eyes were too close together, would that offend you?
I mean, my eyes aren't too close together.
Well, I know, but like that's one of mine. Mine are.
I
So-
didn't even think of that until you said that. So like that's the thing.
They're like really right.
But no, like, yeah, the attacks of that I just know aren't true, and I know it's from somebody that doesn't know me. But I think it's the ones where they try to get personal and then they spin it. That like where they maliciously take another step to be like, oh, well, you have a shaved head. You must be a racist skinhead. You know, it's like those. I'm like, you see what I mean? Like where they go an extra step further. And honestly, those may be the ones where people are like, well, yeah, it's just stupid. But in my view, where I see, you know, it's like, okay, well, this is just some unhappy person that can't grasp it in their head. They can't grasp the concept of what you were saying earlier, and they just don't get it. It's fine. But I don't know. That's a good conversation. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going back to the movie theater.
Oh yeah, with the opening candy.
That's annoying. Or people that sing real loudly at church and they think they're professional opera singers and they're loud and they're trying to be like, oh, you know, and you're like, just be normal.
Just saying, like, yeah.
What about you?
This one kind of takes a back seat with people that I like and I love and I'm around. Like with my people, this isn't really a big pet peeve, but with people I don't know or just met, when people interrupt me, that's a pet peeve. Yeah,
that's a good one.
And like if I'm in like on a really good train, and like I'm on, and then like somebody like either jumps in or like completely derails it, or you know whatever, and I'm just like.
Okay, that's a good question. Is there a character trait in someone that if they have it, you're like, look, there's grace for a lot of things. I'm just not doing that.
Selfishness, narcissism. Yeah.
I think that, like it kind of goes along with what you're saying. Like they talk too much and they only talk about themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
I will say another pet peeve that I've discovered this is an irrational pet peeve of mine from being in Birmingham in one intersection in particular. There's an intersection. I'm turning off of 280 to head to my apartment. And when people block intersections, like if there's just a lot of traffic and maybe the light that is down the road is red and there's a big backup, but when people are too impatient and they block intersections, and then the one time I get a green turn lane in like 5 minutes and there's people blocking it and I can't turn, so then it just goes back to red and I have to wait, I get so irrationally mad. Like I've caught myself like looking at the people in the intersection and doing like that. And I'm like, because I get road rage internally and say to myself, I don't do it to them directly. But that one where I'm like, you're so like, just wait at the light. Don't block. Wait at the line.
It screws everything up for like
everything
hours.
up for you to have 20 feet up. But yeah, that is a traffic one I've realized when people.
So you wouldn't be friends with those people?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'd be friends, but it makes me irrationally mad because I'm waiting my turn patiently and you've got all the cars coming through and they can't wait at the light for me to turn. They got to get up and block the intersection, and it makes me so angry. But because I have to deal with it every day with that intersection.
At that intersection.
Yeah.
I think we have like 1 minute. Would you rather?
I gotta look.
That means you got to, you don't even have to sit up to do that.
I mean, I will.
You don't have to.
Would you rather? Fun question.
What?
The most insane one came up first that we're not going to ask.
Like, you can't. Is it inappropriate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to shout?
I think I'm going whispering
Yeah.
because then you could use like a bullhorn and amplify But there's no way to turn yourself down.
You'd have so much more aura if you were the guy that always whispered.
Yeah,
Everybody would
you'd
be like
a mysterious
aura.
Nobody would be friends with you if you were the guy that yelled everywhere, ever.
Would you rather have to communicate solely through interpretive dance for a day or speak only in puns for a week?
I'm going to go, interpretive dance would actually be entertaining and you'd kind of get a workout. So that's like a twofer.
I knew you would do interpretive dance.
What are you choosing?
Puns, because it'd be funny.
It would be funny, but it'd be hard to communicate because people aren't very smart.
That SpongeBob clip of, oh, brother, this guy that would be y'all every day.
Stinks. I hate you. Okay, y'all. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll be back with Abs. What do we have Monday? I don't even know.
I don't think so. Anything right now.
Wait, is Emily Jones? Is that Monday? Tuesday. I don't know. Monday will be a surprise. Y'all have a great weekend. JP, stay out of trouble. Don't go to jail. If you do, give me a call. Come bail you out. We'll see y'all Monday.